What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another NBA Rundown brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm here with Titletown today, and we have one half of the NBA Finals. We know who it's going to be. The Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul makes his first appearance. DeAndre Ayton, made the finals before Luka. A lot of people wouldn't have expected that a couple years ago, right? Devin Booker continues his ascent into superstardom, and you got to give James Jones credit. He's got an athletic supporting cast that can defend and knock down the threes, which gives space for his other star players here. Quite a win for Phoenix and their fans last night. Title, what were your takeaways from that impressive victory?
Yeah, it was a very fun to watch. I was on the Suns yesterday, made a little money back. I know Game 3 I was on the Suns, you were on the Clippers. I only lost a little bit because I don't like going against you, so I didn't put a full unit or anything down. But I've said all along I've been on the Suns in the regular season too. This is one of the things that I will take a victory lap on. I mean, this team is all around. I mean, the GM did a phenomenal job. They put together winners. Devin Booker, he's a star in this league for sure. Chris Paul, his leadership, he can take over games. He's one of the best point guards we've seen. And then he surrounded themselves with pieces with Jay Crowder, 3-and-D guy, Mikal Bridges, 3-and-D guy, DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul coming. That signing was so big for his career, as obviously we've heard about it so often. But he's a man amongst boys when they play small. And then their bench, they didn't even have Cam Johnson yesterday. He's another guy, 3 kind of D guy, but he can shoot the ball. He plays defense, plays hard. Torrey Craig was way better for the Suns this series than I ever imagined he would be. The whole team, the whole organization, you got to be really happy for Phoenix. And I think they're going to win it all. I've been saying it, that I think they are going to be the champs. Unfortunately, I was hoping that it would be my Bucks and that I would be wrong, but we don't know the status of Giannis. Who knows what this series is going to do? But, the Suns are the favorites. They're playing really good team basketball. They have that killer in Chris Paul in the fourth quarter and Devin Booker. They have all the pieces and a very good coach. So I thought the better team won, and good for Phoenix. I'm very happy that they're there.
All right, and before we jump into tonight, let's go ahead and talk about the Clippers' disappointing end of the season. Give Paul George credit, though. I think he averaged 29, 11, and 5. Whatever it ended up being, kind of dispelled some of these notions that he can't get it done in the playoffs here. The big question hanging over this team is, does Kawhi Leonard come back? I personally believe he does. He left a lot of money on the table and a better basketball situation just to live in his hometown of LA. And when you have that much money, you might as well live where you want to live. Do you expect that Kawhi Leonard comes back, or what do you expect from this franchise? I think it's going to be hard to bring Reggie Jackson back.
Yeah, I don't think Reggie Jackson comes back. He deserves to get paid as much as he can get paid, and why wouldn't you take that big contract? He completely balled out. Good for him. As far as Kawhi, I don't know. I haven't really thought about that, to be honest. His injury, I think it's going to come out sooner rather than later that maybe torn ACL. I don't know. I think it's way more severe than, every day that he was day to day, or then they finally listed him out for the Western Conference Finals. Even if they got to the finals, I didn't think we'd see Kawhi at all. So I'm more curious to hear what the injury is going to be. Is he going to come back? Yeah, I don't really know about that. But Reggie Jackson, he's got to go off and get paid, and I think that's what he's going to do, and deservedly so. As far as Paul George, man, this guy is so talented, and he's such a good basketball player, as we see in certain games when he decides to show up, be aggressive, and be that guy. But then there's times yesterday where, he was way too passive. He diverted to other teammates way too much. You're the star on the team. Go home, do or die. It was disappointing to see how he wasn't as aggressive. He didn't go for the killer instinct, taking over the games. You'd rather him shoot 8 for 31 than you would whatever he shot. It seemed like he only shot 14 times or something. I'd have to pull up the box score, but his lack of killer instinct, his lack of shooting, taking over the team and trying to be that guy really hurt. DeMarcus Cousins was shooting way more than him every single time he was on the court. That's a whole nother story. But Patrick Beverley was more aggressive. Reggie Jackson was more aggressive, it seemed. He's so talented. He's way too good. He gets all the slander, deservedly so. But I don't know. It was disappointing to see what he did. Because the game before, he absolutely just takes over in the second half and carries their team to a victory. We know he can do it. Just depends when he wants to show up, it seems. It's sad.
Yeah, you remind me of that old Dion Waiters quote where it's something like, "I'd rather be 0 for 19 than 0 for 6 because if I'm 0 for 6, that means I lost confidence."
Exactly. Like that's what Anthony Edwards, like there's certain guys, Terrence Ross, Anthony Edwards, guys like
Yeah.
that where they could be 0 for 12 and they'll shoot that 13 shot. I mean, you just trust your talent. Bad shooting, bad games happen, but you can't give up on yourself. And his confidence, it didn't seem like it was there.
Yeah, Redmond is popping in as we're all amateur doctors when it comes to these players. He says the only reason I don't think it's an ACL is he was sitting on the bench yesterday, and I don't think he would have with that injury. So from one knee injury to the other, we got Titletown on today. You've been down at the facility talking to the trainers, hanging out with the players. Warming up with Drew Holiday, showing him some of your moves that put Big T on skates. What are you hearing with the inside information on Giannis's injury?
Well, I'm not down there doing all that, but there are connections and people that I do know, and someone in a group chat. I don't know how reliable all this is, so that's why I haven't done too much with this. The first time I'm actually saying it to anything, but PJ Tucker stopped at one of his buddy's dad's bars, and PJ Tucker said, I mean, according to the screenshot in this text, that Giannis wants to play, but the doctors aren't letting him, and they're saving him for a game 7. Is what they said. I mean, who knows about game 6? So I don't think he's doubtful today. I don't expect him to play. If the Bucks win, I wouldn't expect him to play in game 6. The earliest I think he'd be back would be a game 7 if it goes 1-1. Again, I don't know how reliable that was. The injury looked really, really bad. The MRIs, it couldn't have been any better news. Him walking off a little bit, not wanting the trainers to go back, the Nassus and him talking. I mean, it was as good of news as you can get. But at the end of the day, like, you can't send him out there right now in a 2-2 game. I mean, this is why you play Drew Holiday. This is why you have Middleton. If Trey's out, you still hope that these two are the best 2 players on the court. They're Olympians for a reason. You just can't rush Giannis back and jeopardize his career and set him back. So I don't know how real that story is. That's what I heard. I trust it a little bit, but who knows, PJ? It's PJ Tucker at the end of the day talking. It's up to the doctors. It's unfortunate, though, but we won't see him today.
Yeah, I mean, Title obviously showing some PJ Tucker style defense when you win against Big T, so I could see how that would be a good source for you. Now let's go into tonight. If for there to be a game 7, it's my theory, and I'll say the Bucks need to win tonight. I don't think that they will win in Atlanta on that game 6, especially without Giannis. But Title, I got some good news for you as a Bucks fan. I've already placed the bet. I like the Bucks minus 2.5 points tonight. I think they get it done. It's superstar subtraction. We saw it with Atlanta last game, right? The first game, the stars are out. The role players step up. Everyone gets more usage, more energy on defense. People are excited to step up. More in the offense, you have more of a role in the offense, kind of gets you excited, right? Like if I'm playing pickup with you, right, and you're just dribbling the whole time like Harden, like I'm getting kind of bored. When I'm get the ball, I'm more energetic on defense, offensive boards, all that stuff. So I have made the wager. What do you think about my bet, and where are you on this game tonight?
Well, I love to hear you on the Buck side for sure. This has been a really tough for me, this game. I saw it at -2, I think last night I looked, and it's already up to -3.5 on DraftKings Sportsbook. So that's very good news. The Bucks are getting money. Like I said earlier, though, at the end of the day, I mean, the Bucks are coming home where they play so much better. They now have time to prep that they knew they weren't going to have Giannis. So Coach Bud, I mean, as bad as he is, which sucks, and this is a big part of probably why the line is so close. And why I'm struggling so much is because it's hard to trust Coach Bud at this point. But if Trae Young's out, which I don't know what his lean is or whatever, Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton are still the best 2 players on the court, or they should be. And you have Drew Holiday. They can take over games. The thing is that really struggles. I mean, Giannis on the defensive end is just he's so dominant. He protects the lane so well. He rebounds where we see Brook doesn't rebound the ball as well. Drew Holiday is a good rebounding guard, but everyone's just not going to have to now box out more, play better team ball. And the thing, like you said, on offense, where I agree most of the time, like if Harden goes down, other guys have the ball in their hand way more. The team feels more needed. Giannis, I mean, he was good in he's a pick and roll guy. He plays off the ball a lot. He slashes. He can go coast to coast and dunks and stuff. Now I feel like, I mean, we saw when he went out last game, the ball was so stagnant with Middleton or Drew, and they're all trying to play ISO. they're going to need to get the offense rolling. I think Pat's going to start for him. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they can't start Bobby and Brooke together. I mean, Bobby's gonna have to play all the minutes. Brooke can't play. Somehow Coach Bud refuses to give Bobby 30 minutes. I still don't think Bobby's gonna play 30 minutes, and I really wish he would because they need him out there. They're gonna need Forbes to step up. But the thing with Forbes is he can't play defense, and when he's missing his shots, he's worthless out there. So he needs to step up big. PJ Tucker's gonna. I mean, he has to play 38, 40 minutes. He can sit in the corner, shoot his threes, play defense. They're going to need to play defense, rebound. Drew Holiday and Middleton are have to step up, though, and that's where Drew Holiday's the big one. His shot, I mean, Middleton's going to get his. He can create and do all that. Drew Holiday's so much better, as he showed in game 1 and 2. He is that type of player. He is that guy that can go and get you 35 and 40 a game if you really need it. His shot has just been so off, and I think it turns around today. I'm really high on Drew when we get to our best bets and stuff. Instead of any spread or over-under, I'm taking Drew overs. I know last time I talked about that, and it was game 3 against the Nets when I said that, and he played his worst game that he's played. But they really, really need Drew Holiday today, and I think he shows up. And they have Trey's out. They have the 2 best players, and I think they're going to get this done. Because like you said, if they lose today, the series is over. I don't think they're winning game 6 in Atlanta.
Yeah, the key for me to the Bucks, you got to play defense. You need those transition opportunities. Every NBA player is awesome in transition. I don't care, right? Every single one is awesome in transition. There's a reason why the offensive ratings in transition are like above 150 when they're about 110 in the half court, right? So they need to get these stops. Some interesting things I was looking at when we're going with the props, and this is just without Giannis this season. They go to Lopez a lot. He averages 15 points a game in the games that Giannis has missed. Holiday's at 20 points per game when Giannis is out, and Middleton's at 22. Surprised me. I thought Middleton would be a little higher. Do you know what really worries me when I carried this search here, though, Titletown? What? Jeff Teague averaging 20 minutes and 10 points a game. What do you think of potential Jeff Teague minutes tonight? Am I being a little too worried about him? I was not impressed with his minutes the other night, and I thought he should be an emergency only. Seems like we're in an emergency, though.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, because I mean, those numbers are a little skewed during the regular season because of Dante too. Now that he's out, right. Middleton and Drew are going to have to take on more of the load. As far as Brooke, I hope they go to more post-ups with Brooke and he doesn't sit at the three-point line. He needs to establish himself down low. As far as Jeff Teague, I think that really depends on how Bryn Forbes is playing. If he's making his shots early, then I think he's going to stay in and they're just him, Pat, Bobby, or not even Pat off the bench, but Bobby, Forbes, and they're just going to run a smaller rotation. We saw it when they were playing in Game 7 against the Nets. Coach Bud only played like a 7-man rotation. But if Forbes comes out and doesn't shoot the ball well, gets picked on defense, I think they're going to have to go to Teague and take out Forbes and do that. But I don't think he plays 20 minutes or anything like that. I would see maybe a 3-minute, 4-minute stint to end the first or start the second and then do the same the third and the fourth. But I think like 10 minutes max. I would still take the under on that, though. But I agree. I don't want Jeff Teague out there. I mean, yeah, I haven't been impressed with his minutes in Game 1. Haven't been impressed with his minutes last game. Just isn't offering too much to the table. So I'm with you. Forbes has to play well, though, for him to get out of the game, for Teague to stay out, because what is Forbes better at than Teague if Forbes can't shoot? Nothing.
My opposite would be, is Teague really that much even better defensively than Forbes, though? And at least I get the threat.
I do think he's strong. I mean, because we've seen they can go bully ball down the post with any of. I think Teague's a little better defensively than Forbes. Maybe I'm overestimating that a little bit. Yeah. Forbes has been picked on, but yeah, I mean, he is on offense. It's night and day. Forbes is way, way more of a threat.
All right. Well, hey, let's transition here to your bread and butter. And I have the contest pulled up for tonight. It's showdown season, so we got to pick a captain here. I'm seeing – so at this point in the day, right, I mean, I wouldn't put Trey at 16-2, right? I got to look at Middleton, Holiday, or a Hawk if I really want to get different, right? Who are you looking for in the captain spot? I'm seeing Middleton at 15-6 and Holiday at 14-4.
Yeah, I mean, Middleton and Drew are the clear ones today. I really do like Drew. I think this is a Drew game. I think he takes over. He's going to have the ball in his hands a ton. They're going to go to that pick and roll, I think. So those are the two obvious ones for sure. If Trae Young is out, Lou Williams, he's going to be another very good one again. I mean, that's the thing. Like when Trae Young was ruled out, I didn't think it hurt them as much because it gave like you said earlier, when someone has their ball in their hands so much, I mean, when they're out, the whole team feels more needed and stuff like that. I think that reflects more on the Hawks and the Bucks just because of Trae's usage and how much he does have the ball in his hands. He brings it up. He shoots a ton. And Lou Williams is the same type of player as Trae. Off the pick and roll, he's as good as there is. He can make all the open shots. He's a very smart basketball player. It was a very, very good trade for the Hawks. And I mean, Rondo can't. And I said it all along. I mean, I think most of us did. Like, Lou Williams is a baller. He can score with the best of them. And if he needs to play 30-plus minutes, he can. So if Trae Young's out, I really, really like Lou Will in the captain spot again. Bogdanović played really good last game. He's healthy. I think he does get some ownership because of that. I think he'd be the one that I'm going to be a little lower on. I don't think the Bucks let him make 6 threes or whatever it was again. I think Middleton plays him tougher. Herder, I do like, though. Herder can hoop. This guy is a really good – he can get his own. He's a basketball player. I think I'd rather play him and Lou Williams over Bogdanović, and Bogdanović would be my fade today. But on the Bucks side, it's on the Bucks, because I think the ownership would definitely be more on Bogdanović. But Bucks side, it's Drew Holiday is my favorite today.
Clint Capella, questionable there with an eye. If he gets some run, I see him here at 6,800. Do you expect a big game from him, or is that someone I should probably stay away from?
Wow. So how I left, I was at a buddy's house watching the game. And
I turned it off too. I saw the replay. When Giannis went down, I clicked off. I said, I'm pissed. I said, a lot of times I do that when I'm watching the games because I get so emotional. I say, I got to watch this knowing the result so that way I can actually get some good analysis, because sometimes I get too into it and I start ball watching. Right. So I turned it off and I said, okay, I'll turn it on if need be. So I did miss the end where he got poked in the eye too. He's questionable right now, and I'm not really getting much information besides that. It's questionable right eye after the poke. My guess is that he plays. My worry would be, do you think it limits his effectiveness?
Yeah, I didn't see it all. But I do worry about that a little bit, but I also worry about, Akonju gave him really good minutes off the bench last game. And McMillan showed that he's fine riding Akonju into the 6-minute mark. And John Collins is also there if they wanted to go smaller with him at the 5, which I don't think they'll do that as much. But Capella's minutes are the least stable. I mean, he's going to get his, but he can, if Akonju plays well, he's going to get less minutes than all the other starters. And with Burke down low, I think I'd rather target the shooters, Lou Williams, Herder. I probably would even rather Bogdanović. I don't know. That one would be close, but I think he's fine, but you have to make stances in showdown. Herder is my favorite, or Lou Williams if Trae's out, and then Herder for GPPs is probably my favorite. And also, we didn't mention Pat for the Bucks, but
I was going to ask you that right now.
He's only 3.6K. I mean, he's pretty much. I don't use the word lock too often, but he's going to be in probably every single one of my lineups. They're really going to need Pat to play well today, and I think he will.
All right, so I got a preliminary build here right now. I got one spot left, and really I can go Pat, PJ, or Bobby Portis. Who do you think will have the best game of those three?
Ooh, because
that's a tough one, huh?
Because Bobby's 800 more. He's 4,400. Pat's 3,600. I'm assuming Pat's.
I can afford it, though.
Yeah. I think people are just going to go to Bobby. So if you want to be unique, I think I would go Pat, because I think people will just spend the money for Bobby. Raw point, like if I had to pick, gun to my head, who's going to score more points, I probably would pick Bobby. He's a better fantasy point per minute producer. He's going to have to take on a big raw offense, more rebounding. But I think Pat plays more minutes. I think Pat's going to shoot the 3 today, and I think he shoots it well. I think he plays well. He's a good rebounding guard. And leaving that 800, people just don't like to do that as much. So you'll have less duplicates, and then you always want to play for first with the least amount of duplicated lineups, so you get a higher payout. So Bobby's the better play, so to say, but I would go Pat in that build. Leave the 800.
I think I'm going to do that too. And we had talked about it yesterday that in these showdowns, right, especially I'm just playing the little $4 one, right? I'm not the big ballers like you guys. But first place is usually split between like 30 people.
Exactly.
I mean, so we were talking about yesterday. You have to leave money on the table in order to really have a unique build, and you're never going to be unique. It seems to me in these showdowns, like your goal should be that you're only duped with like 10 people. It almost seems like it's impossible to build a unique build when you're grabbing. What do we have? 6 players here, and these lineups they're about 7 or 8 deep, so it's like 6 of 14 that we're choosing of
You
because
have
it.
you have to get you have to get crazy for sure. But I mean,
Yeah.
when I see Redmond's been in the chat talking. He had a build.
Mhm.
I mean, he's been crushing Showdown. He had
Yeah.
won a couple games ago, or maybe it was weeks ago, but he almost got, it was like 3-way tie for first. Would have been like 51,000.
Mhm.
And I saw someone in Discord last time had a team that was 3 points behind, but they had Cam Reddish at 6%, which was a
Yeah.
unique build. So you got to go. You got to get different guys like that. If you think Jeff Teague does get 20 minutes, Jeff Teague would be a good play. I mean, if he gets 20 minutes, I would play a 2%, 3% on Jeff Teague any day. I don't think he's going to personally get that, but or a Konju. I don't even know how you necessarily pronounce his name,
I
but
think
you
it's a
guys know
Kong Wu, but
a
I don't think.
Kongwu.
But we know who you're talking about. It's
Yeah,
He's an awesome rookie. He looked like
yeah.
it was like a terrible pick with all the people they left on the board at the first half of the season, and now it's like, wow, that's exactly what this team needs. Like this Travis Schlenk guy probably knows what he's doing. I think
Yeah, no,
there's a reason he left, and the Warriors aren't doing good, and now he's doing good. Not only that, he brought the trainer, and now they got a bunch of injuries. So that's been a
he,
big talk out in Golden State.
he's done a very, very good job. Yeah, I mean, a Kongwu. So everyone knew who I was talking about, but now I know
Yeah.
how to pronounce it. But yeah, I mean, if he plays well like he did last game, he played really good defense. He gave a spark on the offensive end. If he could get 20 minutes, I mean, you would take that, and then you'd fade. You wouldn't play Capella and him together, but certain things like that, you have to have a game script in your mind. If you think somehow one of these two teams blow each other out, which I don't see that being the case today, but if you think so, I mean, Big T and other RPS members have shipped when the Bucks blew out the Hawks in Game 2, or maybe it was
This is
no, it was
game
the
two.
Bucks blew out the Nets in Game 5 or Game 6 or something last series. But then Game 2, if you play the blowout scripts and get that, it's all about how you play showdowns. It's all about your correlated lineups. You have a game script in your mind, and yeah, like you said, you leave money on the table. You don't want to play the chalkiest lineup that's going to be duped with everyone. Like last game, I think Lou Williams. There was one Lou Williams captain lineup that was very, very popular. And I think $20 at like $500 was first place that they split within thousands and thousands of people. Yeah, I mean, obviously you take the profit and that stuff, but at the end of the day, that's not what you're trying to do.
Right. Yeah. I'm doing my betting for the guaranteed money. I want to do the lottery ticket when I'm going for my DraftKings lineup. So I appreciate the breakdown there. Did you have any looks at these props? Because it kind of correlates to what we talked about. If you like Bogdanovich in the captain spot, his over is 15.5. I think if Trey's out, you hammer that. Capella, I'm going to stay away from. We don't know how many minutes he gets. Probably wait for a status there for all of those, right? If I see Capella's out, I'm going to go immediately to Collins overs. If I see Trey's out, I'm going immediately to Bogdanovich and Herter. So those we can't really make a play on right now. I think we have a better idea of this Bucks lineup. And one thing I was saying is if I think some of these correlate. So if you agree with me and you think the Bucks win, go ahead and take that performance double and throw the Middleton over as well because I don't see. I think there's only like less than 20% chance that the Bucks win and Middleton does not go off. I mean, would you agree with me there?
Yeah, I mean, Middleton and Drew are definitely the keys. Looking at these, so I mean, when I saw Trey ruled out last game, I had all the over Atlanta. I mean, every prop I could get on Atlanta, I just hammered the overs. And that's something I mean, Mangone got me into that a while ago, and that's something very sharp. If you guys are watching, have your computer open, have your books open. When you get news like that, like if Capella's out, you hammer the John Collins overs. I don't know, right? I doubt the sports books have it priced in that Capella is going to be out, but I know they didn't when didn't have Trey priced in when he was going to be out. Hammer the overs and do that. I don't see too many props that I love, but I'm going to take some shots on small dabble. Chris Middleton triple double, Drew Holiday triple double. I see plus 900 on DraftKings. There's probably
for
a
both
book
of them to get triple doubles.
No, you did a sprinkle of both. So like
Okay.
a quarter of it. I mean, because if they're gonna win, which you think they are, I think they're gonna win. I think one of the two. I mean, I think both of them are gonna have big games if they win. I think one of the two just absolutely crushes and has a big game. They're gonna need them both to rebound. if they're going to win, they're going to move the ball well, and those two are going to be a part of a lot of the assists, and then they're going to get 10 plus points. I think plus 900 or other books, you can get other stuff out there. Take a small dabble on both of them. I mean, I don't think they're both getting triple doubles, but at plus 900, you only need one to hit and you'll be really profitable. So I'm going to take a little sprinkle, maybe a quarter of a unit on both of them, maybe even less. But I'm not going to bet any of these other props right now because there are still some unknowns on the Hawks. They have priced up Drew Holiday 23.5 points. I think he has a good game, but 23.5, that's still pretty steep. So
I think they adjusted it properly.
Yeah,
right? He averages 20 points a game with Giannis out to begin with. You add the extra 3 because who's betting a Holiday under right now, right? I mean, you got to really just be a contrarian or it just doesn't seem to me like when you know his usage is going to be so high in a do or die game. And hey, I guess this is a great question for Redmond, and I want to defer to you on this because I really don't know. He asks, do you think that Drew Middleton get 43 to 44 minutes in the close game, or is it closer to 38, 39? You have a better pulse on this than I do. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it would be closer to 38, 39. I'd put it probably right about 40. Mm-hmm. I don't see Coach Bud only sitting them 4 to 5 minutes the whole game, unfortunately. But, I mean, we see Drew Holiday get taken out in the first quarter every single time. Chris Middleton, I think it'd be close. Right around the 40-minute mark. I'd be surprised if they played 44 minutes.
All right. And what's the general attitude towards Coach Bud in Milwaukee? I've never seen a coach who's had so much success be so hated. I can't think of a coach.
He's hated. Yeah, he is.
It's just wild, though.
You're at the
3 Eastern Conference Finals in the last 5 years with 2 different teams.
You're at the Deer District. You're at the games. There's always going to be someone around you saying the same thing as me. So I can't really blame it. But I mean, you just have to look at. So I want Bobby Portis to play 30 minutes today. Mm-hmm. Like, why wouldn't Bobby Portis play 30? He brings the energy.
He has problems in the pick and roll, though. And I think that if you're going to get killed in the pick and roll, you'd rather get killed in the pick and roll with Lopez because at least he rebounds and blocks shots.
See,
that would be if I'm defending Bud, that's what I think that he's thinking.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah. I mean, I get it. I disagree. I think Bobby. I don't know. I love the energy. I love the tough. I think he's a little better in the pick and roll, but Brook definitely protects the rim, blocking shots more. They're going to need a Brook to play. As much as I didn't want Brook to play a lot of this series because you could go Giannis at the 5. Now you have no other option.
Yeah.
Now Brook has to play all the minutes he can, has to shoot well, has to protect the rim. So I still wish Bobby would play 28, 30 minutes, but I don't see it happening. I wish, like Redmond said, I hope they could play 30, 43, 44 minutes. I don't see that happening. I mean, the only time we really saw that was Game 7 against the Nets, and yeah, I don't think Coach Bud does that today. Hope I'm wrong, but that's my guess.
And I hope you're wrong because I hope they're up by 20 going into the 4th because I'd like to have a sweat-free cash tonight because this has been a crazy play. We all said, I can't wait till the playoffs come. We won't have to worry about injuries. Oh, it's still the same deal. I'm sitting here. It's 10:30 in the morning on the West Coast, and I have no idea if Trae Young or Clint Capella is going to play. How do I handicap this game or make a DraftKings lineup without knowing this stuff here? But hey, our guy Triple Beam Dreams, this guy hangs out a lot on the Keg Live show. Glad to see him in here tonight. He says Bucks hammer spot here. I agree. So let's go ahead and make it official title. Let's give out our best bets. You already know where I'm going. I don't mind if you duplicate, but if you got something else in mind, let him know. Side total prop, what you got? Best bet.
Yeah, I was going to do a prop for the overs, but I couldn't find. I mean, I think you're right. They priced them right. Who wants to hit an under 23.5 real points and all that's a lot?
Yeah.
I'm doubling down with you, spread. Bucks are getting this win. Let's go. Yep. Let's roll.
Yep, I'm laying it. Bucks minus 2.5 here. Superstar subtraction in full effect. Friendly whistle at home. The Deer District's going to be wild. I think that we're going to get big games for Pat Connaughton and Bryn Forbes. And let's watch this intensity on the defense. I think it's going to be there. The Bucks slept walk through their last game. Yeah, that's a weird thing for a championship team. They seem to mail it in a lot.
They just don't.
It's not like they're the Lakers that won like 2 titles in a row in 2002, where you're like, oh, okay, well, or the Bulls, you know. I remember they used to not play the first 3 quarters, right? I mean, this team's not good enough to do that. But I don't think we get that tonight, right? I mean,
they can't.
After they get smacked, they wake up.
Yep. No, I think they come out hot, but you're absolutely right. The first 2 games in Atlanta, they were like sleepwalking. I don't get it all. I'll give one prop out. It caught my eye. Okay. PJ Tucker over 5.5 points plus 100.
Yeah.
He's going to play 35 minutes, I think, today. I think he really needs to play a lot. He needs to be on John Collins. They need him to rebound. They need his toughness on defense. They don't have the bench depth. I don't think they want to play Bobby and Brooke together too much. 5.5 points. That's 2 corner threes from PJ Tucker.
Exactly.
Even money, minus 127 on the under 5.5. I like that bet too, so I'm going to hit that.
Yeah, I like that as well. So, all right, we've got it. We are good to go. Thank you for hanging out with me today, Title. It's always great to get a perspective from someone with boots on the ground. He will be live at the Deer District tonight, having a great time. So if you're there, say hi and thank Title for all the great information he gives us, not only on the betting side, but on the DFS side as well. Title, I don't believe there's a UFC card this weekend. Do you have a rare Saturday morning off?
Yeah, there's no UFC this weekend, which is going to be nice because, I mean, it's going to be a bender for over here. It's 4th of July weekend. It's my buddy's birthday tomorrow, so I'll be up in my college where I used to be, going to a wedding with some buddies. So Saturday night's going to be crazy, and then Sunday I'll be at the lake all day. It's supposed to be really nice. So, yeah, no UFC, but this is the one weekend where I'm kind of fortunate. It'll be nice having a little weekend off. Hanging out with friends, drinking a lot. It'll be a good time to relax and sit back. So no UFC, but we'll be back the next week. We got Conor McGregor back against Poirier for the trilogy. Everyone's going to be excited for that one when Conor fights. So big card will be back in action July 10th.
All right, well, enjoy the weekend off because you've definitely deserved it. For those of you who are subscribed to the Run for Your Bets channel, and that's something I suggest you do right now, like the video, subscribe to the channel, but you'll be getting a notification this evening as I go on live with the Sports Keg, and we had quite a good time as everybody popped in last weekend. We had JSU, Mangone, Mikey made it before his little 24-year-old bedtime. I don't understand how you're 24 years old and you go to bed at like earlier than me, and I'm like 45. Like, come on, Mikey. But we had a great time. We had Gavin on there, Steve. You never know who will show up. So subscribe to the channel. You'll get the notification when we go live tonight looking for some spots in this Bucks game. I'm already invested in the Bucks, but I will not be hesitant to double down if they get off to a slow start. Title, thank you for joining us, and we will be back tomorrow. So, hey, guys, tomorrow all we're going to do is AP's going to be on. We're going to do a quick little NBA talk. We'll talk about the game last night. Maybe look ahead to the finals a bit with AP. But then AP and I will be going over Saturdays and Sundays matches for Wimbledon. So we'll still be giving out some picks, some predictions, and some ability for you guys to get some action over the weekend as the NBA kind of slows down as we get close to the NBA finals. But even though there's no game tomorrow, we will be back. I'll probably call it NBA rundown. But, guys, really it's going to be more of some Wimbledon talk and just giving out plays for that. So if you're interested in the tennis or you just want to make some smart wagers, join us tomorrow at the same time. It'll be me and AP. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Like the video.